So today we are going to explain in detail a short story, The Last Leaf, written by O. Henry. Actually, O. Henry was the pen name of William Sidney Porter. Okay, the real name of O. Henry was William Sidney Porter, and he was an American short story writer, but he is better known by this name O. Henry. And he was born on 11th of September in 1862, and he died on 5th June in 1910. So O. Henry, his stories are known for their wit, for their wordplay, warm characterization. Okay, the characters are so interesting that we can never forget his characters or the presentation of his characters. And the main quality of his short story is his clever twist ending. Clever twist ending is the most beautiful charm of the short story of O. Henry. And when you will go through the end of this short story, The Last Leaf, you will find that there is a very clever and there is a very heart touching end. So O. Henry is known for his clever twist ending and for his wonderful characterization. His short stories were much more playful, and most of his short stories are set in his own time, means they are contemporaries and they were set in his own time, means in the early 20th century. So, and if you remind a very famous short story, The Gift of the Maggie. The Gift of the Maggie, the writer of this short story was also O. Henry. And this story is also very famous. Other stories' name are The Ransom of Red Chief, The Cop and the Anthem, A Retrieved Reformation, The Duplicity of her Greaves, right? Other short stories, but most famous short stories are of O. Henry, The Last Leaf and The Gift of the Maggie. So today we are going through the short story of O. Henry, The Last Leaf. Just have a look at this, at the text of this story. And before going through the short story, we have to imagine, we have to make a picture, maybe an imaginary picture in our mind, that what is that time, or what is the climate, how is the atmosphere, what is going on in the village, in the city, or at that place where this story is written. So now the time was autumn, okay? When this story is being mentioned, it is the time of autumn season. And you know very well what happens in autumn season. What happens? All the leaves, they start to fall down because it is the season of falling the leaves, right? So it is autumn season and the wind is blowing very hard because it always takes place in this season. In the autumn season, the wind always blow very hard, and now it is also raining very heavily. So you have to make a picture of the climate just like this, and it is very important so that you may be aware that what happens with the characters or what is the condition of the particular place. So it is raining very heavily, or it is snowing very heavily, and all the leaves on an ivy creeper, right? All the leaves on an ivy creeper have fallen. They have fallen. Why? Because it was the time of autumn season. Except one. Only there was one leaf that was very, very wonderful, very strange, that how can it be all most of the leaves they had fallen, but there was only one leaf on the ivy creeper and it was still there. It was still there. So why does it happen that the last leaf does not fall down? That was a miracle, or that was a strange thing, and now we have to know that why that happened. Why doesn't the last leaf fall? This is the secret, this is the mystery, this is the whether is this the miracle. So this secret, this we can say that this kind of the reason we have to know that why does it happen that the last leaf does not fall down. So the title of this short story is, this is the reason that it has been given the title to this story, the last leaf, because there is a secret that why, if all the leaves are falling down, why the last leaf is still there on the ivy creeper. Okay, so now just let us go to the story. There are only 4 characters, right? How many characters are there in total? There are only 4 characters: Chauncey, Sue, Doctor, and Behrman. Chauncey, Sue, Doctor, and Behrman. Because it is a short story, so there are only 4 characters in total, and the complete story is based only on these 4 characters. So just go through the text. Sue and Chauncey, 2 young artists. Okay, Sue and Chauncey, the name of first 2 characters, and they both were young and they both were artists. Chauncey and Sue, they both were young and they both were artists. They both shared a small flat, means they both lived together in a small flat, and the flat was on the 3rd story of an old house. Where they both were living? They both were living in a small flat, and they both were sharing it with each other. And this flat was situated where? This flat was on the 3rd story of an old house. So our story starts like this. Chauncey fell very seriously ill. Chauncey, she fell very seriously ill. In which month? In November. And why? What happened to her? She had pneumonia. What kind of disease she had? Now she is suffering from pneumonia, and this disease was very serious to her. She would lie in her bed without moving. She was feeling herself so weak that it was not possible even to move on her bed for her. Chauncey, she was very weak, or she gets so weak that she couldn't even move lying on her bed, and it was her compulsion that she had to lie throughout the day only on her bed, just gazing out of the window. And what she used to do? She only used to gaze out of her window. So she used to pass her time, but what? She used to look at the window. Sue, her friend, became very worried, and Sue, as a friend, because she was very caring, she loved whom? She loved Chauncey as a friend, as a sister, and now she became very sad, very tensed, and she was very worried for what? Only because she was worried for Chauncey. She wanted her to be happy and to be cured. So Sue, she was very sad or tensed for Chauncey. She sent for the doctor, and now Sue, she decided to treat her very well, to cure her through a doctor, and for this she sent for the doctor, although he came every day there. Right? The doctor, he was also very dutiful, and he cared a lot for whom? For his patient. He used to come there every day, but he found there was no change in Chauncey's condition. but the condition of Johnsy was so bad, or it was getting worsened, that there was no improvement in the condition of Johnsy. The doctor was giving her medicine, the doctor was trying his best to treat her, to cure her, but no use, because he finds that there was no change in the condition of Johnsy. So now here Sue, she was also very worried, and the doctor, he also finds himself helpless, finding no change in the condition of Johnsy. Okay. Now one day what happens? The doctor took Sue aside. Now when the doctor finds there is no change, or why Johnsy is not getting improvement, so what he did, he takes Sue aside and asked her, because doctor, he wanted to know the reason of Johnsy's this condition, that why the medicine is not working on her. So he asked, whom? Friend of Johnsy, Sue, is anything worrying Johnsy? So now doctor wanted to get some knowledge that why it is happening with her. Is anything worrying Johnsy? No, replied Sue. But why do you ask? Sue, she was also very tensed again, that why it is being asked by the doctor. The doctor said, Johnsy, it seems, has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. Sorry, Sue, it is really very sad for me to tell you that why I don't know, but it seems to me as if Johnsy, she had made her mind not to get well. Means Johnsy, she has lost it. It seems to the doctor that Johnsy, she has no desire to live. She has lost all the hopes for life. So it seems has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. If she doesn't want to live, medicines will not help her. Sorry, Sue, to inform you, but I can't do anything in this, because if there is no desire in her heart to live, if she doesn't want to live, then what my medicines can do? My medicines will never help her. Now, what can help her? It is only Johnsy. It is her attitude, it is her will, it is her thinking that can cure her, that can treat her, that can help her. So, Sue, it seems to me that my medicine are completely failed, because there is no desire in Johnsy's heart to live this life. So now just look at this point, that even the doctor, he is also getting so worried, and he is also getting hopeless. And now no medicine of the world can cure Johnsy. It is only her own desire. She tried her best to make Johnsy take an interest in things. And now Sue, when she comes to know this about Johnsy and the helplessness of the doctor, Sue, she tried her best, whatever she could do. Then she tried to please her, to treat her, to make her thinking positive, to convince her, no, Johnsy, life is very beautiful, you have to live. Whatever she can do, she tried her best to make Johnsy take an interest in things around her, means in life. She talked about clothes, about fashions, but Johnsy did not respond. But Johnsy, she remained as she was before, and she was not interested in the clothes talk, in the fashions talk, and she remained very negative, because perhaps she had decided, or she had accepted the death of her present condition. So whatever was being done by her friend Sue, there was no reaction, there was no positive response, there was no desire in the heart of Johnsy, and she did not give a positive reaction or response to her friend Sue. So each and every attempt of Sue was getting only failure. So now Sue, She also feels like a doctor. She also feels very helpless in helping her friend Johnsy. Johnsy continued to lie still on her bed, and as it happened, it was taking place with Johnsy. Johnsy continued to lie as she was lying fast on her bed, looking at the or gazing out of her window. Okay, gazing out of her window, and she remained like before. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room. Why? Because they both were artists. Sue was also an artist and Johnsy was also an artist. So Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting, only to please her, to take Johnsy's mind off her illness, so that Sue may divert the mind of Johnsy at that time to draw or to paint something. She whistled while working, and just look at the caring nature of Sue, that how much worried she was at that time, that she's trying her best to divert the mind of her friend Johnsy. She was whistling while working, while painting, and now this time she tried her best to paint, so that Johnsy, as an artist, she also could work or she could also paint. But will there be any benefit of this? Will our Sue be succeeded in this, or will she get success in this? We have to know further in the story. So we can find here that O. Henry, he is making so beautiful, interesting story, and he is making a curiosity in the mind of his reader that what will happen further.